Hello everyone, it's Stipe here, the coach of the Helsinki High Jump Geeks, and this is the third week of Reddit Battle League, and we are going to face Vade, who is the coach of New York Kecleons, and his record at the moment is 1 win, 1 loss, and we are at 0-2, having lost both our games so far. And unfortunately, this week either I haven't had too much time to prep, and especially I haven't been able to scout my opponent very well. So hopefully he won't do anything too kinky to catch us off guard. But without further ado, let's have a look at our roster. So I have Muse, Calm, Ozu, Mega Houndoom, Tangrowth, Dragal, Zedra, Dactrio, Braviary, 9 Says, Rodum, Executor, and Cloister as my two new guys, being there over Maractus and Hitmonlee. And my opponent has Mega Kaicham, Jirachi, Tornadus, Therion, Floges, Tentacruel, Crafty, Electros, Omastar, Miltank, Spiritomb, Pinsir, and Virizion. So what I'm expecting, I'm not expecting anything in particular, but I'm pretty sure that Mega Kaicham is gonna be there. I think Mega is gonna come the mixed attacker because um, I think it's the most effective card jump set against my team because it can break a lot of my walls with Fire Blast, and I expect it to have Fire Blast, Draco Meteor, Earthquake, and some fourth move. It could be Stealth Rock, it could be Sub, it could be Crunch for Mew, it could be Poison Jab for Azumarill. Something like that, and I could see defensive Jirachi being there to maybe check my offensive water types. I'm pretty sure Tornadus will be there because it outspeeds everything in my team. And Tentacruel is a mon that will prevent me from hazards attacking him. And of course my Dactrio capitalizes on Tentacruel very much, so we'll see if he's going to prepare with Tentacruel for that Dactrio. Omastar, I'm a bit afraid of that if it gets a chance to set up, but I don't think I'm too vulnerable to it. And Virizion I don't think will come. It is pretty much the only one that I'm pretty sure it won't come because it does nothing against Skarmory pretty much, and and Executor too. So and even Tangrowth. So I have a lot of mons that just stop Virizion. So I don't expect to see Virizion, but if he does bring it, I don't mind. Once again. So to my team that I'm gonna bring, I actually had a couple of teams, and this is the one that I personally would have not liked to bring. Mainly because this is kind of a team that I either win big or lose big. This is hyper offense, and my other team, however, was a bit. It wasn't very good at countering Tentacruel. It checked Tentacruel very well, but it didn't check it. I mean, it didn't switch in to Tentacruel, and also it this team did better as I had a prep battle with one of my friends from Fela. So I'm gonna go with this one and see how this goes. So as you can see, I've screens Mew with Ice Beam and Roost. So the idea here is I have some speed to outspeed something. I don't. Is it to outspeed? It could be to outspeed Mega Garchomp. Maybe. Or Pinsir, either of those. I have the screens and Ice Beam for Mega Garchomp. It's the only one that I don't really want to set up against me. I guess Jirachi might be annoying if it sets up a sub in front of me. But that's pretty much all. I really hope it doesn't set up a sub in front of me. And I mean, I don't know, I could go with another attacking move. I could go I could go with safeguard even, but I don't need safeguard. Maybe I'll just go with the move that to hit the Jirachi. I have to see. I have to think about this a little bit still. So um, yeah, but now I have roost. I don't think I really need roost necessarily, because once I've got my first screens up, I'm gonna bring in my cloister. And as you can see, I have Lumberry, Substitute, Shellsmash, Icicle Spear, and Razor Shell. So the reason I have Lumberry here, in my prep battle, I had to switch into a meal tank that had Body Slam. And if I don't have sub, I had Ice Shard originally. If I don't have sub, I have to switch into multiple Body Slams basically to be able to, like, I have to switch into Body Slam, hope I do not get parried. I have to set up, hope I don't get parried, and then it's actually still a 3 KO on a defensive meal tank. So basically my idea is to get an early setup with Cloister, weaken his team as much as I can. I think Razor has a 50% chance to lower defense, so I have a good chance to 3 KO meal tank. And I don't think even after -1 defense, meal tank will be able to break my sub with Body Slam unless it is invested. I think sub is also good against maybe Tentacruel, Omastar, things like those, and Florges probably. I guess I have max speed for something, I don't remember why, but there was a reason for that. Definitely, maybe like Jolly. It is Jolly Scrafty max speed, yeah, that's the reason. And then I have my actually this is what I'm gonna lead with, my Skarmory. Oh, by the way, Cloister's name is not a dirty pun. You know, just that you're aware. It's not a dirty pun this time. And yeah, this is lead Skarmory. I'm not sure why I have those 12 attack EVs there, but they just started there. Why not? Speed to outspeed. Yeah, it's to outspeed base 100s with some speed, pretty much. And some depth there, just for fun. And I have Stealth Rock Spike, so yeah, my plan is definitely to just Hazard Stack, pressure the Tentacruel with them. Actually, if I get Spikes and Stealth Rock up, +6 player for my Azumarill will KO the Tentacruel, which is pretty cool, even if it's max defense. But also have Potatoes here, the Duck Trio to check the Tentacruel. And yeah, there's Taunt, so if it is with like, I don't know, something that, like Omastar, I can just taunt it, it can't set up hazards. I can set up my own hazards, and if he leads off with Mega Guardian and sets up a sub, I can just go for rocks. He goes for an attacking move, I go for spikes, and then I have Castaberry Braver to break the sub, so that's my way to deal with a lead Mega Jump. I don't really mind rocks on my side, even though I have 2 monsters that are weak to rocks, but this is a very offensive team, and I have screen support. I have Memento support here, as you can see. Memento support is more for my Azumarill. So I have Earthquake, Sucker Punch, Reversal. Reversal is there mainly as a filler move, so I can just my main plan is to just calc during the game if I can do a lot of damage with Reversal, maybe against things like Omastar, Meal Tank. Mainly those two, Scrafty perhaps also. So yeah, Earthquake for to do as much damage to Tentacruel as possible, Sucker Punch if I need, if I can, and Memento of course to pass to the Azumarill. And here I have, I mean this doesn't make really sense because I have enough speed to with the Cloister to outspeed a Timid or jolly, I mean jolly is crafty, but this speed is for an adamant max speed crafty after +1. So I mean I don't know, whatever. And yeah, as I said, my plan is to try to trap the tentacruel and just EQ it, try to kill it so that it can't spin against me. And if it can, maybe try to set up the hazards later again if I can. And when I get Memento up, I bring in my Azumarill. I have Belly Drum Azumarill, so as you can see, I have the double water setup spam. So I have Belly Drum Aquajet, Player of Waterfall. I don't need anything else. All I need is the super effective. I mean the stab coverage. I have enough speed to outspeed. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's for the floor, just my speed, or I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for the floor. Just if Scraft is not max speed, I will of course outspeed it as well as Electros and yeah, those two, and almost start to. Of course, I won't outspeed Miltank or Tentacruel, which are base 100. But as I said, after +6, I can one-shot Tentacruel after rocks with Flare Off and after rocks and spikes with Waterfall, which is very cool. And I mean, yeah, that's pretty much like. Well, my main idea here is to just pressure his team so much with my setup sweeping, because he's pretty weak to this both of these monsters. So if I can just weaken him enough with first with my Cloister, I should be able to just sweep with Azumarill. And if I can, I have still Braviary, the Scafos 1 here, Scarf, Defiant. I don't need Defiant, but I don't need anything else either, so I'm just going with Defiant. And Brave Bird, Retaliate, Return U-turn, so I can, not only can I just spam Brave Bird, I can also spam Retaliate. I mean, I can't spam Retaliate, but I can click Retaliate if I can retaliate something. If it's for revenge killing basically, and he hasn't got too much that wants to switch into a Retaliate. Maybe Jirachi. Jirachi might be a problem for this team. I'll have to see how it goes. I'm pretty sure that an offensive Jirachi dies to +6 Aqua Jet, and defensive probably won't hopefully be able to KO me. At least I'm pretty sure +6 Aqua Jet into Retaliate will KO Jirachi, even if it's defensive. I'm not sure though. I mean, Jirachi might be a big problem, to be honest. But yeah, this is my team. This is very fun team, but pretty crazy to use, especially when you're you're in the 2-loss streak right now. I mean, my other team would have been pretty cool as well. Maybe I'll use that if we face Vade again in playoffs. Who knows? But yeah, did I say everything? Oh yeah, yeah. The speed here, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure. One, 2, 7. What? Okay, yeah. No. It has to be for some kind of a. What? Is it Scrafty? It's probably Scrafty actually. Yeah. Or another thing, it might be to outspeed a +2 modest almost star after. Yeah. like +2 modest armor start. That could be the case too, but I'll see that later. Anyway, this is my team. I know that I won't be pretty tired when I battle because it will be late for me. So let's hope everything goes okay. Okay, so here's the battle, and I actually ended up putting knock off on Mew over that roost, so I have ice beam roosts and screens on my Mew. And as you can see, my opponent actually brings no guard jump. I'm a bit surprised actually, but there's almost start, so it might be Cell Smash or Hazard Stack, and if it is Hazard Stack, I don't know which is more hilarious, the fact that I brought all of my 4 possible hazard removers, or the fact that I don't have none of those 4 hazard removers has hazard removal in this battle. So yeah, that's that. And like I mean, my dedicated lead is Skarmory, so I'm just gonna lead off with a Skarmory and try to set up rocks as he leads with Taunt, and I'm like, okay, let's set up some hazards, but he taunts me, and this is a huge momentum loss for me first turn, as I just decided to switch into Braviary because that's literally the only thing I can do to maintain my win cons and my support mons for later. So I switched into the Scarf Braviary and go for Brave Bird, and I get a crit, which is very huge for me, not as much for my opponent, but for me, because after that last game, it was a really huge confidence boost to get that crit for me basically. So I switch into Mew as he switches in he turns out into Scrafty, as I go back into Skarmory, kinda scout what it does, and he goes for Dragon Dance, and I'm like, uh, whatever, I'm not scared, I'm just gonna go for rocks. As he actually fears the Brave Bird and switches out, which is cool. I can get up my rocks, and I can also get up my spikes, as my opponent goes for a Thunderbolt, and it does a lot, doesn't quite bring him down to my 30, so I decided to preserve my Casta Berry and actually switch out into Braviary, kinda sack it, as my opponent goes for Flamethrower and does not kill me. And I'm like, okay, I can also, I can, actually what I was thinking, I was expecting him to switch out, so went for U-turn to gain momentum. But because he did not switch out, I did not gain momentum, so I switched back into Skarmory. But I actually leave the U-turn of Electros, which is very cool, because what this allows me to do is to go for that Cast Up Berry, Brave Bird, and do a lot of damage to Tornadoes, as it comes down to 30%, which is great. And this allows me to bring in my Azumarill and at least a Bandit. Aqua Jet will KO from this range, so I'm actually gonna bait him to switch out, as I'm gonna go for a Belly Drum. And I'm like, okay, I win. That's it. You know, like there's what can he do? There should be nothing he can do. Like, I get to weaken his team so much that I should just win. I get an Aqua Jet off. In comes a Tentacruel, and after hazards, I know that Waterfall will actually KO. So I go for Waterfall, but he goes for Haze, and this is absolutely beautiful. Like, this is the reason why I love being in this league. Haze to stop the Asus whip. Oh my god, that's so beautiful. And now this one is a very important turn, as okay, what I could do, I could set up again expecting him to switch out, or I can go into Doctor to trap the Tentacruel, and basically yeah, basically my main reason to stay in would be to expect him to switch out, but like expecting me to switch out. But what he does, he switches. I mean, he hits what is in front of him, goes for a sludge bomb, which probably was a misplay because at least a rapid spinning would have been the better play. But he goes for sludge bomb, and that means the tentacruel is now dead, and I can just fire off an EQ, and the hazards are there to stay for me. And in comes a Thorn, and I know that I don't really need Duck Trio for anything. I just want to pressure that Thorn a lot, so I go for a Sucker Punch, do a lot of damage, and actually Sucker Punch plus the Life Orb recoil will KO the Thorn, which is absolutely great. And this allows me to go into my Azu just to do some damage on anything that he decides to bring in, and this also will prevent the Scrafter from setting up. So Jirachi takes some damage as T-Ball doesn't KO, and I get to fire off a Waterfall. And it's very good because actually now Waterfall plus Aqua Jet will bring Jirachi down to hazard's damage, and this will allow me to bring in my Mew and just set up the screens. And I set up the screens, as I said, and he goes into Omastar, and I'm fairly concerned about what kind of a Omastar he is. So I want to knock off just in case, as he goes for Stealth Rocks, and that makes me think that okay, he's not Shellsmith, he's Hazard Stack, which is hilarious because I brought 4 of my possible hazard removers, which none of which actually carried hazard removal. He goes for Toxic Spikes, which makes no difference anymore, as I can just set up Shell Smash, and as you know, him getting a Scald Burn at this point won't make a difference because I have the Lumberry in the back, and I can just sweep him from here. So in the end, the damage on Jirachi didn't even really matter in the end, I guess, because now I just lose some differential and a kill from Cloister because Jirachi dies to the hazards. But it's a solid 3-0 victory for me. I'm really glad that my team finally works as I wanted to work. You know, a lot of setup, a lot of yeah, well, that's pretty much it. Very offensive approach to games, and it pays off this time, and I'm very happy about it because it's my first win, and hopefully we will keep winning in the future as we face Dog, who I've played before in Fella, and that will be a very cool match. I had a very cool team for Dog, but unfortunately he made a trade which I believe will force me to do some drastical changes to my planning against him, so we will see how that goes, but that's the game for the next week. This is all for today. Stipe signing out.